Mary Lou Westerfield, my old friend, Western Regional Director of Actors Equity Association, has also joined us this morning. Welcome, Mary Lou.
And Alan Rucker from WGA.
And Alan Rucker from WGA. Thank you very much. Thank you all, especially Ron Morgan and Bob Butler from AFTRA, and Mary Lou Westerfield of Actors Equity. And Nancy Daly. I always love seeing you there from Actors Equity, too. We are very proud to be your partners in this effort. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. And now I guess we'll take questions.
Okay. Questions for any of the speakers or anyone on the dais? Okay, that was easy. Anybody have oh, yes.
I wonder if you could talk about how this campaign, what you want producers and people who manage production, movie and television wise, what you're calling on them to do in terms of improving access. What exactly
Would you like to take this?
I'll take a stab at it, but Rebecca can. Yeah, let me stand.
Let me also introduce Rebecca Yee, the National Director for Affirmative Action and Diversity with Screen Actors Guild. She and Robert will take that question.
You want to go first? At the risk of being simplistic, it was mentioned a short while ago that Dr. Olivia Rayner from UCLA, through the SAG's IACF, International Cooperative Fund, Industry Cooperative Fund, produced a report entitled The Employment of Performers with Disabilities in the Entertainment Industry. This is a slightly long way of telling you that there are 20% of this country that have some type of disability. In TV and films, only 2% of the images you see are of people with disabilities and deaf people, and 0.5% of all words spoken in TV are spoken by people with disabilities. So there's a huge disconnect. 0.5% of the words spoken in TV are spoken by people with disabilities, performers with disabilities, and yet 20% of the country have some sort of disability. You ask, what do we want producers to do? Give us auditions to try to get jobs. And please hear me carefully. I didn't say give us jobs. I like to think of myself as such a big liberal, but I'm really quite a crusty old fart when it comes to I don't think anybody should be given anything just because. But I believe with all my heart that in the 56 million people with disabilities, that there are certainly incredibly talented people. There are winners and losers in every group. If young people see themselves with disabilities, see themselves in the movies and in TV and in advertising, they're going to get the idea that they can possibly be lawyers and presidents and teachers and social workers. So what we're doing is asking people who run this industry to acknowledge that there are, in fact, fears and discriminations about people with disabilities and start addressing them. And the best way to address them for actors and broadcasters, I would add, too, because I've been both, is to have interviews and job auditions. They're going to be surprised at the talent that is in our group.
Thank you. I think there are also actual things that the producers can do. I don't think disability is in the producer's consciousness. So when our performers go for auditions, they're fearful to ask for accommodations, especially if their disability is invisible, because there's a fear of losing that job. So they go to auditions and they have to go up a long flight of stairs, or there's no elevators, or there's no interpreters, or braille, or large print for their scripts. So we ask simple things like that to be able to provide to performers so that they can audition equally with everyone else. And we are suspicious about some of the sets. We don't believe that they're accessible for wheelchairs, the different auditions, and we just don't think that they're providing the access that's needed.
I would add that some of these concepts, I've been around them 26 years, so Some of them are complicated. We're asking to play characters with disabilities, but we're asking to play characters that aren't disabled. The fact of the matter is, we're asking to play human beings. I had to get old before I started playing judges and professors and doctors and, thank God, coroners. The first year I was on CSI, a visiting director looked at me and goes, "Can you lose that crutch?" And the crew knew me well enough to know I walk on artificial legs, and I said, "Yeah, if you got something for me to hold on to, sure, why not?" It's the point is that there are legal things that people have to do, and then there are things that people do because they're good people. But the fact of the matter is, until people start getting the idea that there is the requisite same amount of talent, skill, and intelligence in our group, and start to get over some of these fears, that's when things are really going to change. That's when, and I loved what Linda said, there's not going to be disability. We're not going to have these conferences and have these conversations. But I hope that answers some of your question.
Do you have a question, sir?
Yeah, I do. Just sort of a follow-up. I think Alan mentioned the NAACPs. Now, this is for you, Mr. Hall.
Please.
There are sort of gradings on discrimination.
Right.
People of color. Are you thinking of doing that sort of thing? And just to follow up, have the studios or the networks or any AMPTP, have they acknowledged this campaign? Have they sat down with you about it?
Well, we're just announcing the campaign today. It actually begins in January of '09. But
I guess that's what we're looking for, is what exactly begins? What are you going to do?
do you want to take that?
Yeah.
But I have something I want to say about the Kwasi Mfume did. I really love what they did, grading and scoring the TV shows in that one season. And sure, it's something we've thought of doing. We have to get a grant to do that, and we look into a number of possible solutions. I think if you casually sit down and watch this new season, you're going to see precious few people with disabilities and deaf people in our network shows. And some would say you don't need a study to do that, but it's always nice to wave a study in somebody's face and say, hey, this is what's happening. We're desperately trying to get the AMPTP to count people with disabilities, because then it's in black and white, and you can say to people, look, you could think that I'm just telling another story. Actors love to tell stories. But here's a study, or here's an actual physical thing in my hand that shows you what's going on. We're trying like crazy to document and prove what people already know. So, and we're not going to, we're not going away. Yeah. This is the bottom line. We're not going away.